Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. My name's Tim, also known as FTR. I want to start today's video with a huge thank you to everybody who actually took the time out of their day to watch our last video, and to all of you that liked the video and subscribed. Absolute massive love to you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it a lot. Now, we're back today with another video. Today's video is going to be about Assetto Corsa Competizione and which car to choose as a beginner in 2021. Now, after hours and hours of getting our ass kicked by this game and doing a lot of research and a lot of watching other people's reviews to see what they have to say, we came up with a few things that could help you make your car choice in 2021. What did we learn after doing all this research? There isn't really a beginner's car in ACC, which doesn't help you much, I understand that. But I am here to give you these few tips and car choices that might help you in your way in becoming a faster and better and more consistent driver in ACC. So let's get into it with the biggest tip of all, tip number one. So leading us on to number one, guys, what you want to think about. And this is like the biggest thing, in my opinion, on ACC to get right. When you pick your first car, stick with it. You need to know that car like you know how to walk. You know that it's left foot, right foot. You don't think about it. You just go and you end up in your destination. Voila. You should be able to do the same with your car. You need to learn it in the rain. You need to learn it in the dry, the cold. You need to learn where its braking points are, because some tracks have very hard braking points. Monza, for instance, really annoying in places. You need to know how it accelerates around a corner. You need to know how it feels. The more comfortable you are with that car and the setup of that car, you're naturally going to become faster. You're naturally going to become more consistent, which means it's going to lead to things like podiums and race wins, which, to be honest, we did ourselves last night for the first time. We got a race win, and I am so happy with that. So happy that all of the tips that I'm going to tell you are going to help you the way they've helped me turn from back of the pack to becoming a top 5 in class of racer, which is a big improvement. When I first started the game, I was guilty of doing what I told you not to do, which is trying every different car. But what I've learned over time is if you get something like the Aston Martin V8, you get the McLaren and you get the Porsche, you've got 3 completely different cars that have completely different attributes and characteristics, and you're not going to get your head around it. You really need to learn that first car, which anyway, let's get into some choices of cars that I feel that are probably the best and safest options for you to learn and put a lot of time into these cars. So the first set of cars that I would recommend for you to use is front engine cars. The Aston Martin V8 is a very good, safe car to learn in. It's also pretty competitive around most tracks. I wouldn't say that it's terrible and I wouldn't say that it's brilliant, but if it does decide to get a wiggle on, you're going to be able to pull it back into a straight line pretty easily because it becomes predictable over time, that car. Same with the Bentley Continental, brilliant car, my favourite car. The Bentley, we love the Bentley on this channel. And the third car is the Lexus. The Lexus has the advantage in the rain. For some reason, it seems to be heavier. It stays planted in the rain. It's so consistent in the rain, and it's not too bad in the dry either. And with the front engine cars, the good plus side you've got with front engine cars is you're going to have wet capabilities. You're going to be able to munch the curbs, and I mean munch the curbs. Like, they do not affect you in any way, shape or form. You just drive over them bad boys and you keep going. And consistency. You're going to get consistency from the Aston Martin, from the Lexus, and from the Bentley. You're going to get consistency. So yeah, any of the front engine cars, bar the GTR. Don't be fooled by the Nissan's GTR's beauty and big power ratios, because that thing is an animal, but it's also one of the hardest, in my opinion, to get right, because it oversteers and understeers whenever it goddamn feels like. So that leads us on to the car sets number 2. So car sets number 2. I wouldn't really say it's sets. I would say there is one car that is standout here, which is if you want to go a little bit more Italiano, you want to go a little more Ferrari. Sorry about that. If you want the Ferrari 488, the Ferrari 488 is a mid-engine monster. It is pretty competitive around 10 to 12 tracks. It's pretty consistent. It's one of the easiest to learn when it comes to, I would say, cornering. And because you've got the mid-engine, you've got the central weight, it's pretty easy to work out your setup for that car. The good thing with it is it performs half decent in the wet, it's really good in the dry, and you'll often find that the McLaren and the Ferrari are two cars that you'll see at the top of the leaderboard. It's because they're so consistent. And if you can learn how to use the Ferrari, it's good for beginners, it's good for intermediates, it's good for the pros. Pretty much there isn't a person on this planet that the Ferrari isn't good for, unless you're not a Ferrari man like myself. But I do use it in the game, and I do find it to be one of the, I would say, the most comfortable to drive and the most predictable to drive. It doesn't like curbs as much as the front engine cars, but again, if it decides to take you on a little spin, you're going to be able to get it back under control with just a slight gear change or a little bit of deacceleration or a little bit of acceleration. It becomes simple over time to learn. The McLaren comes in shortly after that, but the McLaren is, I would say, is a harder version of the Ferrari. So personally, as a beginner, stick with the Ferrari 488. It is a beautiful, mwah! We love the Ferrari. So car number 3, guys, is going to be a bit of a learning curve. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm going to recommend this to a beginner. And the only reason I'm going to recommend this to a beginner is to a certain type of person, to the type of person that's like a Shaolin monk, that has ultimate dedication, has patience, and has everything you need to be able to really get behind and learn how the car works. It's going to be the Porsche 911 GT. Amazing car. The Porsche 911 GT is phenomenal. The thing is an absolute weapon. I mean weapon. It's probably the most OP car in the game. There is not a track that this car is weak on. But this all comes with a price, as everything in life. If you think it's too good to be true, it probably is. The Porsche is the same. So, being one of the hardest cars to handle, I'm doing a lot of practice myself around Monza at the minute to try and work out a setup for the Porsche that works consistently well. I can set some phenomenal lap times, but they're not consistent. I might set 1 out of 5 laps that's amazing, the rest are very slow because I'm too busy trying to control the thing like a bar of soap across a wet floor. It's just whip, 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 whip. Because you've got the rear engine, they have brought it forward slightly by about 20 mil in the Evo, in the 2019 version of it, I believe. If I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. I apologise. But the reason that I recommend it is because if you've got the time and the patience, like I say, you will be able to destroy pretty much everyone in the Porsche. That's just a personal thing that I've seen with the Porsche, and from what I've heard from other people, is if you've got the patience, learn that car. Honestly, learn that car. And that brings us to the end of the video, guys. I really hope it somewhat helps you find your feet in ACC and get on your way to being more consistent and more competitive within the game. Trust me, it's going to kick your ass a few times. You're going to feel like the car's crap, but it's not. If you use today's tips, like I have done myself, I got my first race win yesterday and 2 podiums yesterday just through continual practice in the Bentley. We love the British Bulldog. The Bentley is king. For me personally, it might be different for you. If you want to see us drive in real time on the live, I will link the Twitch down below where we stream 7 PM to 11 PM GMT on a Tuesday, a Thursday and a Saturday. We also go live on YouTube. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you did like the video, be sure to hit the like button, and if you really like the video, be sure to subscribe, turn the notifications on so you're aware of when we upload next. But until then, peace out, guys. Have a great one.